Listeners be advised, this episode is rated R for colorful language. All right, everybody, new merch. We got some art done by artist Thomas C. Rogers. You may have seen some of his collabs with Devils of Dirt Hawking. He has also done some extensive work with Harley Davidson. There's no AI done here on our merch. Of course, our thumbnails are always AI, but check it out on sportingchancepod.com. We got pullovers, zip-ups, long sleeves, t-shirts, and of course, stickers.
And this podcast is brought to you by Mountain State Falconry Supply. Freshen up your gear or get ready for the micro season. Visit mountainstatefalconrysupply.com.
And don't forget to get the tightest braided equipment on the market at midnightfalconry.com.
If you haven't put a deposit down on your next hunting partner, now's the time. Contact Seth Roy at northmountaingoshawks.com for your next season's hunting partner.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sporting Chance podcast. We appreciate everybody's orders that have come in for the new merch. It's flying off the shelves. We're selling out of some sizes. Casey, actually, I'm going to put an order in for some of the odd sizes that have already sold out.
Okay.
For the jersey meat.
Yeah, we're gonna need some stock for that. That's what my wife literally was just telling me that. She goes, "You got to make sure we have a lot of stock because last year we sold out of like."
I say it's got to be a good weekend for you guys.
Yeah, last year we were like everyone's like, "Oh, any more larges?" And we're like, "No." It was like we completely sold out. So we got to make sure we're good to go.
Why don't you bulk up and fit into an XL like a real man, right?
I'm trying to bulk down. Yeah, it just goes down to my knees.
So, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for your orders. It's much appreciated. You're keeping the doors open, so to speak, on the podcast.
The lights on is the saying.
The lights on. There we go.
Keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on. All right. Today we are joined by Tierney's boyfriend. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Tyler Simcoe.
It's been a long time coming. We had a lot of mishaps to get here.
No. So the reason I say that is Tyler on social media, somebody was shit talking the show, and Tyler swooped in and came to the show's defense, and the troll, we'll just say the troll we're referring to, said something like, "Who are you? Someone's boyfriend?" or some stupid.
The boyfriend of another Falcon or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, somebody was talking bad about the show?
It was the meat eater reel that was shared, and not everybody, people were liking it, but of course the haters come out of the woodwork, and they were talking shit mostly about you, Casey. Everybody loves me. But they were they were talking shit about you, and Tyler came out swinging and said that and was defending you.
Yeah, the only one, like one of the only people that defended me. I will say that
the comment was, being a bad representation for the sport.
Yeah,
and I came back and said, you name somebody that puts more time and effort into their birds. Like, wait.
Right. That's right. And I didn't even know any of this till people started sending me screenshots because I have that. It's not really like a group. You'd call them trolls, but that's too on the nose. It's more of a herd of troglodytes from up north that smell and are hairy. They do everything. They're on us. They can't get it. It's so weird. It's bizarre.
Fan club.
I don't even say anything to them. And it's just people are just sending me screenshots of like this group where they're just roasting me in it. I'm like, dude, I don't even talk to you people. Like, I don't who cares? Just go on about your life.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, Tyler. You're the only one. My boy Aaron over here, he's got a bad habit of he's like that Bart Simpson meme where like something's going on and he just like disappears into the bush. That's
into the bush.
That's Aaron. We saw that live at the Sporting Chance live episode with Gary Brewer. Red tail goshawk debate. Aaron was like, What do you? He's been telling you for 30 minutes his evidence, Casey. Come on. I'm like, thanks, Aaron. Thanks,
I didn't
bro.
say his evidence was good. I just said you're saying what evidence, and he's saying
he's saying nothing.
That's all
basically.
he's been talking about is his evidence.
Yeah, which was nothing. And then I got messages from quite a few people about it. I got a message from a nice person that listens to the show, and all they sent me, and I hope this, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not going to say the person's name, but all they messaged me was, I catch squirrels with a Harris Hawk. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. And I was like, sweet. Like what am I going to say?
Catching squirrels with a Harris Hawk is not the question. It's how bad are they going to get messed up by squirrels eventually?
Living on borrowed time.
Well, it's just a good it's an interesting topic to talk about because it's like I got messages from like respected falconers talking about it all. Look, and they're like sending me graphs overlaid of like the northern goshawk and gray squirrel locations and their habitats, and they just barely overlap. So, and I'm like, listen, they kill them. You know, Seth was telling me about nests in eastern PA. It's just filled with gray squirrels all over the nest, tails everywhere. You know, there's gray squirrels up in Maine. There's a ton of goshawks in Maine. It's not even a question that they're killing them and catching them. It's just the question would be like, how often are they? You know,
right.
But I will say this:
you listen to their
biology. I guess it would depend on what's available to them. If it's not much for squirrels, they can certainly do it.
Exactly. If there's a high population of a game species in their area, they're going to utilize it. So it just depends. It just depends where they are. I don't know if I said it on the Gary episode, but Ben Woodruff had a cool video, and I don't remember the context, but I think he was looking for goshawk nests, and he was driving from one drainage area where there's a lot of trees to another one, and he stopped at like a rest stop park area to get lunch or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And as he's eating his lunch, like a female goshawk like snatches a ground squirrel.
It was a park squirrel. Yeah.
And flies away with it. And he goes, what the heck? And he like started searching the area and he found the nest. And then I guess he pulled, or at least somebody climbed when it was ready to be, when the ISs were ready to be pulled. And it was just like a graveyard of like squirrel heads and tails everywhere. And it's like, that's all they were eating.
Those rock squirrels out there in their range out west, they're no joke. They're the same size as gray squirrels.
Yeah. And they fight just as hard from what I've heard. And I'm not, I'm not saying that it's more ethical or not ethical. It's just, just to say that it's unethical to have, or as Gary would say, to pit one animal against another. And I appreciate his point of view, but it's just, they kill them in the wild. And it's so if they're killing them in the wild with regularity, then you're not doing anything unethical by hunting them yourself with your bird.
Yeah, they can refoot a lot faster than a Harris Hawk, that's for sure.
Before we get too into it, I do want to. It's Tyler Simcoe.
Yeah, sorry, Tyler. I just wanted to get that out. I just wanted to get that out.
But let's talk about that because Tyler's flown at least one Harris Hawk, but I can tell you guys from personal experience, I've flown red tails, Harris Hawks, and goshawks. Female goshawk handles squirrels just fine. We all know female red tail that's the best bird for a squirrel.
Agreed.
But
can't beat it, yeah.
Harris Hawks will happily and effectively catch squirrels, but they will get destroyed by the squirrel.
Yeah.
It's just a normal thing. They're always bit up. They're always getting tendons cut. They're losing toes. They're losing talons. It's very common, very normal if you hunt a lot of squirrels with a Harris Hawk. Tyler, you flew a Harris Hawk. Did you ever squirrel hawk with it?
So I actually still have him. It was JP's old Harris Hawk. He never had any interest in them at all. And I was totally okay with that because his toes are not built for squirrel bites. I've had him for 3 seasons. There was about this year and 2 years ago so the first time I ever flew with the bird, JP still had him, and it was at the Jersey meet. And there was this little nest, maybe 7-8 feet off the ground, and then a tree that was broken off on a 45. And the Harris was up on the top of that broken tree, and I shook the nest, and a squirrel came out of the nest, ran up the branch. It was looking back at me. It wasn't looking forward. And it ran up the branch, got about 6 inches from the bird, and just froze. and the bird looked over at it and then looked away. And when he looked away, it turned and went the other direction. So he didn't chase him for a while. And then I was flying him one day, and he was just staring up in the side of this tree. And I'm walking all around. I'm looking. I can't see anything. And he stared for a good 2 minutes and then just flew up there, plucked the squirrel off the side of the tree, and came down with it. When he hit the ground, right as I went to reach in and get my hand on the squirrel, it shot out from under his tail. After that, for a week and a half, if he saw a squirrel, he chased them. And some of the coolest flights that I think he's ever had were on squirrels. Week and a half went by, he didn't end up catching one, and then for the next 2 years, ignored every single squirrel he saw. And then this year, I had him in the weathering yard, and I went into the back to check on him, and he always comes up to the side when he hears me coming, and he didn't come up to the side. Thought that was a little weird, and I went over there, and he's in the corner, mantling. And I walked in there, and he had a squirrel. It went into the weathering yard, and he caught it and killed it and was eating it. And same thing. For about a week after that, he chased squirrels. Now he doesn't care anymore. So, but like I said, I'm totally okay with it. His toes they're little. He's a rabbit and bird guy through and through.
What he's for.
So I took a red tail this year because I've spent the last 3 years not being able to catch squirrels. That's mostly what I have in my area. Like I live in Cinnamons, and it's pretty developed. We don't have much for rabbit fields around here. So like generally I have to travel 30, 40 minutes to get to somewhere that's a good rabbit field. So I took a red tail this year so I could hunt locally with the red tail and then still go to all my fields with the hares.
That's cool.
Smart. So, which has been nothing but trouble for me this year. He dislocated a toe.
Really?
And it's been... I rested him for... What's up? The red tail did.
Oh, okay.
The red tail. So like I rested him for 2 months, tried to fly him twice in there with splints, and it just keeps popping back out. So I said, screw it. We'll just fly him to the end of the season, keep the splint on it. It's real easy to tell when it pops back out because he won't commit. He'll take the flight, and right when you think he's about to hit it, he'll just kind of peel off and go up to a tree. So now you just calm down, pop the toe back in, and he's good to go again.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's bizarre. I've never heard of that one before. That's nuts.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
What popped the toe out?
I went out to get him in the mule, and he was just sitting there with it completely sideways. I don't know if it got caught in the turf that I have in there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it's been a reoccurring problem all season. It's been a pain in the butt, but we're just working through it. Because, I had the hares, so it was nothing to put them up for 2 months because I could still hunt with the other bird. So.
Yeah, but you wanted to go after squirrels.
Yeah. That was the whole reason why I took them. And
why a tiercel versus a female?
For the red tail?
Mm-hmm.
My trapping season did not go very well. I feel like the migration was late this year. And so I was scalloping into September, and I didn't really have the time to put in to properly trap. And the few times that I did go out, I wasn't ready to take a bird yet because, we still had trips to do. So I kind of trapped for other people that needed help. And then when we got done, I went up to the ridge, North Jersey, and caught one bird, and he was it. And I tried to give him away. Nobody wanted him. But he was hog fat. Like he was almost 1,000 grams when I trapped him. And he's flying at 790. So like his keel was super fat. Tips of his feathers were busted up. He had blood all over him, squirrel bites on the feet. Like he looked like a scrapper. So I said, why not? I never said I always said I'd never fly a male, but he had everything that I'd look for in a big female. So I figured I'd give it a go, and it's been a blast. He's super fast.
Yeah.
My last red tail was 1650 off the trap.
God.
She was a big girl, not very fast. Killer bird, great bird. But
what was she flying at?
Fast. She was stubborn. She flew at 1200. She took forever to train. I think it took 7 weeks to get her trained. Because I'd cut so much weight. She was just so unresponsive for so long. When I trapped her, I offered her food every day. This might be controversial to some people, but that's how I do it, and I'm gonna stand by it. I'll offer them food first day, second day, every day. But if they don't take it from me, I'm not gonna force them to eat it.
Right. That's not controversial.
I think it depends who you talk to.
Why?
You might have talked to Tierney about that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's offering them food. I mean, you're just trying to build the trust with the bird. I kind of do that.
I talked to a few people that they, even if the bird doesn't want to eat, stick it under a strobe or something, forceps to just kind of force the bird to eat. If they don't want to eat, they're not gonna. A red tail's not gonna kill itself by starving itself to death because it's scared of you. They're gonna eat.
Yeah, they'll eventually eat. I've done it where like if I got a stubborn bird and it's been like 3 or 4 days, it also depends on the keel, right? But if it's like 3-4 days and the bird's not eating, I'll leave like a mouse unhooded, in a darkened room, like on tethered, where I could switch the light off and I'll leave it on for a little while, peek in, see that it ate it. And I'll turn the light off, go and pick it up, rehood it, just so that it's not going to like die or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If you just drag it out, like eventually they're going to eat.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to just stand there. It's not a goshawk, a passage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously wouldn't do that with a coops or something or a goss or a Sharpie, but red tail's it's going to eat.
A coops and a Sharpie is going to basically eat whatever you offer. Yeah. They're like, I'm eating food. I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron had a frustrating bird this year too.
She worked out great. She's a wonderful bird now, but she was pretty similar. It took forever to get her going, and she had to cut her weight down to. She would like. It was like either she wouldn't budge off the perch, or you had to cut her to where she would walk to you on the creants.
Yeah.
So it was either or. It's like she's either not going to come to you at all, or you cut her so low she's walking. Yeah. It just took time and patience, and eventually she came around, and she's wonderful now. I'm not planning on letting her go next year. She's good enough to keep. But kind of like what you experienced, sometimes like a nice sized female is hard to come by.
Yeah. So I kept her for 2 seasons. I had no intention of keeping her, but like halfway through that first season with her, there was no way I could let her go. She was dynamite, and as far as squirrels, you didn't have to do anything,
Yeah, you just take her to where they are,
just stand there, and she would spiral up, corkscrew down until she would find it.
Yeah,
you didn't have to throw sticks, no slingshots, nothing. Just if she saw it in the tree, it was either making it to a hole or it was coming home with us.
That's the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So all these people that you helped out that you trap birds for, where were they at when you were in your time of need? Were they not coming through to help you?
No, they were. So
Aaron's trying to stir up drama.
So the reason I'm saying that
they were all friends of mine.
Good friends, huh?
Trapping.
With friends like these, who needs enemies, right?
Just kidding.
So
that was.
I'll just say it for you, Tyler. I had a lot of friends that I helped over the years have trapped birds for, but wouldn't you know, nobody's ever trapped me a bird.
Yeah. No, I have no doubt in the world that they would have helped me out, but when I said the trapping season didn't go well for me, that was mostly when I was trapping for other people. When I went up to the ridge and got that bird and tried to give him away, and then nobody wanted it, like that night, I spoke to a couple of people and they all said, why don't you just fly it? And I tried to, he's little, got small feet, it's a male. Well, why don't you just fly it? Everybody said the same thing. So that night, because I was going to continue to trap.
Would they have taken a big female off your hands, you think?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it at nauseum on the show, though. Like a tiercel redtail, it's like it might as well just be a different species. They move so fast. They get back up and chase. Like they're so awesome.
Flashy compared to a big female.
Yeah, and if you got one like that, that's a scrapper, man. You just like, what else do you need?
Yeah. Friend of the show, Travis, who Casey got to hawk with down here, he's got a really nice tiercel.
He better not get rid of that bird. That bird's, I think that bird reincarnated after 20 years and it finally died, and it came back as a juvenile because that thing is, dude. It's like, what did he say? Was it him or somebody else at the meet that said that like that was only his 8th kill or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this bird is like it misses the squirrel, lands on the ground, and then instead of like just like for an hour like laddering back up like this,
it
right back up. It ladders up, dude, and then the squirrel's at the top of like one of these North Carolina plantation oak trees that's like 500 years old.
Yeah,
and it just gets up in the wind.
The hanging tree.
Yeah, okay. I guess down there with you people. Yeah, I felt like there was ghosts on some of those property, Aaron. You felt haunted.
I'm sure there was.
Yeah, and this bird would just like catch the wind and just let the wind pull it up out of the woods over the canopy, and it would just like go up in the wind. And I'm like looking, and we're just kind of looking, and like no one's saying anything, and then you just see him just work his way in the wind back, and then just come over the tree, and then just like go into the tree to catch it. I'm like, dude, you know how long it takes a bird to figure that out? That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, don't get rid of this bird, man. This bird's sweet. Super smart. It did a couple other things that day that were super smart. Yeah, but we caught one early on, and then we hunted for the rest of the afternoon and didn't seal the deal. Jumped into a nest, right? Went in the nest, tore the nest apart.
Always wanted a nest buster. I've yet to fly one.
Yeah, that thing was using the wind, getting up over the canopy, busting nests. I'm like, do not get rid of this bird. This is an awesome bird. Shout out to Travis.
And we flew my bird, and she moved like 6 times to catch a squirrel.
6? It was like literally that bird laddered up a pine tree every single branch. Like 50 times. And then gets above the squirrel and then just goes, boosh, catches it.
That's
win is a win.
Female red tails, as we know, are lazy like that. They're not thrilling to watch. They just get it done,
Yeah.
You have to get out with Tierney's red tail to meet this year. She's killer squirrel bird.
Yeah, good bird.
There's no squirrels there though.
There's
in New Jersey.
No, there's a couple at the Jersey meet. You got to just. We always go there.
No, here's my thing, right? If you come to Swedesboro, New Jersey, why the hell would you want to hunt squirrels?
Exactly.
There's so many rabbits.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. That's why I'm diversifying.
I got a killer squirrel spot not too far from the hotel. You say the word, we'll go.
I saw your comment on social media when you saw my black fox squirrel. You said to bring some up there.
Yeah, dude. That's been a 5-year journey of mine, and I don't think it's ever going to end. Brittany, same deal. We've both been trying. So when I had the Kestrel, we were out car hawking, and we drove through this park. And in maybe 200 yards of road around the outside of the park, we saw like 8 or 9 black squirrels.
That's cool.
Just hanging out. And, so when I first got my falconry license, I always knew Princeton black squirrels all over the place. I just used to trout fish up there a lot. And when I was a kid, I don't ever really remember seeing gray squirrels. Like all the squirrels I saw in Princeton were black ones. So I figured, I'm going to get my falconry license. We'll go up there. I got a good squirrel bird. First hunt, black squirrel. 5 years later, still haven't caught one.
Really?
But we found this park, and you're going to move a lot of black squirrels. But the problem with it, there's so many squirrels, period. Like to go in there and slip 25 squirrels in an hour. It's nothing. So like it's the only place that I've ever hunted where, you shake a vine, slip a squirrel. Oh, it's a gray one. Walk away. Like don't hope the bird doesn't see it. Just keep going.
That's funny.
We've had a lot of close calls. We've had a lot of black squirrels get knocked out of trees, birds with their feet on it, and just it's like 4 or 5 different birds that just haven't been able to seal a deal.
You know what would probably be best for that situation, and this is contrary to what we were just saying earlier, would be a
12 gauge.
Definitely a 12 gauge. A cast of female Harris hawks.
Yeah. It's just so hard because there's so many.
You could go there and catch 10 squirrels with them or whatever the limit is in Jersey.
What is the limit? 4? 6?
Squirrels? I think it's 5.
Oh yeah, it's 5 squirrels and 4 rabbits.
4 rabbit, yeah.
Yeah, 4 rabbits.
If you had two falconers with you and you could each take your limit, you had 3 female Harris hawks, you could get 5, 10, whatever it is, or 8 or 10 or whatever the limit is for 2 people.
Yeah.
And then you just throw them away afterwards. The Harris hawks, just toss them.
Throw them in a dumpster on the way out of the park.
They'd be happy there.
Yeah, that's their natural habitat.
Like my last year at the PA meet, my Harris, it was cold, and he spent a little bit of time in a trash can. I don't know what he saw. I don't know if he just wanted to get out of the wind, but the lid to it was open. He flew down, landed on top of it, and just went inside and I trudged all the way over there through the snow. And I looked inside, and he was just standing in the trash can. And of course, the trash can was full of bags of dog shit.
Oh my God!
There was no trash in it. It was just dog shit. And people walking around
there eating intestinal parasites or something.
Who knows?
Disgusting. Yeah, they love all that stuff.
They love trash cans, man. They're into that. It's what on the show at this point was there been like 3 people, maybe 4 that have had Harris hawks go into trash cans.
Into trash cans?
Trash cans, dumpsters. Yeah, they get like one scrap of something by a dumpster, and then every dumpster they see, they got to go check it out from that point on.
That includes me. I'm out rabbit hawking.
Luckily, you didn't get anything in that trash can because that would be very upsetting.
I'm out rabbit hawking and my birds disappear and I find them in a big dumpster.
Starlings, rats. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's all kinds of goodies.
So, Tyler, how did you get into falconry?
So my dad's good buddy from college. He was a PA falconer. I'd say late 80s, early 90s. He got out of it before I was born, but like I always heard the stories growing up. And I never had the time to do it. I played all kinds of sports in school and homework and in college and all that. And by the time I was done with all that and I was just working, I had the extra time. And quite frankly, there's a lot of spots that I've always looked at and be like, wow, that'd be such a good spot to go in and hunt, but you can't because it's, behind a school or residential, and falconry is the golden ticket for that. So when I had the time and I had the money, I got my start. And unfortunately, I started 2020, smack in the middle of COVID. So when I built my Mew, it was, if I had got my license a year sooner, it would have been half the cost.
Yeah, it's true.
The 2x4s were like $9 a piece. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So who was your sponsor?
Rob Robbins.
Okay.
Robbie's the man.
Yeah.
He is. He was a great sponsor.
And so that you had mentioned earlier, you and I talked last year about trapping. So Robbie's daughter traps.
Yep.
And that's how you got into trapping?
No, so I got into trapping in high school. It was just I'm always branching out and trying new things. That was one of the reasons why I knew I was going to do falconry. Like I've done, I don't want to say I've done it all, but I've done it all in New Jersey. Everything that New Jersey has to offer, I've tried it. The only thing I haven't done in Jersey is bear hunt. I just don't have access to anywhere to bear hunt, and I never really I think bear hunting's cool. I'm definitely going to do it, but it doesn't really crank my tractor. There's a lot of other things I'd rather do. But so I got my trapping license in high school. And I just started out, little stuff, raccoons, foxes. Kind of fell in love with water trapping. That was always my favorite. Beaver, muskrat. Of course, New Jersey, we got to do everything crazy here. So it's a lottery system for the beaver tags. They only give you 8 tags, which is so crazy. Like when I was beaver trapping all the time, just off the top of my head, I could tell you where there's 25 beaver houses within 20 minutes of my house.
Every time I come up there and I drive through, I see like beaver habitat.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. Down here, there's no limit on them. I can trap as many as I want. Yeah. And if the landowner, it's so easy down here. If the landowner requests you to do it, you can do it anytime you want.
Yeah, see,
not even a season.
I've done a lot of damage control work, and it's such a pain in the butt. We have to get special permits. Only one time has the state ever okayed me to go in out of season. And very specifically, you can't retain anything. Even though they give me the tag, they make the rules. They give me the permit to trap out of season. They give me the tags to do it. Can't retain anything. Can't keep the hide.
You just got to throw it away?
Can't keep them. Yeah, I was told I either had to bury or burn it.
What a waste, dude. That's crazy.
When I did that out of season job, they contacted me and said they had a bobcat trapping survey coming up. So they wanted the meat from the beavers that I trapped. I'm expecting, I thought they wanted the whole carcass. They took 4 hams, 4 back legs. That was it. That was all they wanted. And the rest of it all went to waste. That was a little sickening. But they normally what they do is they'll tell the landowner, you have to wait until the regular season opens up, which is December 26th, I think, to February 13th is the season. So, if you have beavers causing problems and you call in September, October, they're going to tell you got to wait till after Christmas, which that was most of what I did. I did all the damage control work for Morristown, which got a couple good stories about that. People not too happy that the township sent me in there to get rid of the beavers. There's just one time is a dog park, and there's a walking trail, and there's a creek that goes back there with a bridge over it, and the beavers were damming up under the bridge. And when they dammed it up, it was making the water go around the sides, and it was washing out the footings for the bridge. So, that was a repeat spot. Every time I had a permit, they sent me in there to get them out of there. And I was up by the road one day, standing in the creek, and this guy comes walking down and sees me in the creek, and, what are you doing? And I say, I'm here to remove nuisance beavers, yada, yada, yada. And he seemed like he was just not thrilled with it, but didn't really say anything, leaves. I go to the other side of the property. By the time I get back to the road, he had gone to Hobby Lobby down the street or something and bought wood stakes and poster board and made these signs and lined the creek next to the road. One of them said, "Stop trapping the beavers." The other one said, "Leave the beavers alone." And I called the guy for the township. I was like, "Yo, Rick, I think we're going to have a problem over here." And he sent one of his guys over there, 20 minutes, ripped all the signs out, threw them in the dumpster. But I don't so the people of New Jersey, they're not fans of trapping. They're not fans of hunting, but they're definitely not fans of trapping. So I try to do, beaver traps are expensive, They're,
and your regs on that are different than ours too. What do you have to use for beavers?
So you get a conibear. We're not allowed to have foothold traps. They've been illegal since 76 or something like that. So you can snare them or you can use a conibear. But, most states, the conibear, part of it can be exposed. New Jersey, the whole trap has to be underwater. Unless you're hunting tidal. If you're trapping. If you're trapping tidal, your trap can be exposed at low tide, but at the average high tide line, it has to be underwater.
God.
So, and it's a 10-inch by 10-inch trap. the beaver runs where they come up onto the shore, you're talking about 3-4 inches of water. Well, I got to bury a 10-inch trap. So you end up, to get it where you want it a lot of times, you got to take a shovel or a claw hammer or something and dig out the run so it's deep enough that you can bury the trap.
So
but, then they're coming up shallow and then it's getting deeper again. So you got to put a stick over the top called a dive stick. So they'll dive underneath the stick because they're not going to swim through it or climb over it. When they dive under the stick, they swim into the trap. And you can snare them. Not a huge fan of snaring beavers.
Beavers have no neck. It seems hard to me.
Well, it's just I'm like 98% sure that beaver's like one of the few animals that's with those stupid special regulations. You're not allowed to shoot them.
Yeah.
I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to shoot them. So you end up having to take a conibear trap anyway and throw it over their head while they're in a snare. Which they're not happy to see you. They don't exactly sit still. And some of them can be aggressive, man. Some of them
you can't use a lethal snare on them?
I don't believe so.
You can't use a catch pole? Like, I know the guys, so I got buddies of mine up here that do a lot of trapping. I think they just broke their record from last year. They're at over 320 canines already for this season.
That's
in my neighborhood.
New York or Jersey?
New York. Insane.
Are you guys allowed to use footholds?
Oh yeah, footholds.
You are?
Yeah,
dude,
footholds.
If New Jersey would allow that, our fox and coyote problem would be a lot more manageable.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't even hurt. It doesn't even hurt them. It just holds them.
And I've stuck my hands in so many traps to prove stuff like that to people.
Yeah. Now be honest. Hold on. Now be honest. In those videos that you see of those guys, and they're like, and they stick their hand in it. Like, does it actually hurt a little bit?
I mean, if you're a pussy, I guess. It doesn't. It doesn't feel great,
right?
But like, there's a huge, it's gonna break their arm. If it breaks their arm, and the bone penetrates the pelt, it's useless.
Yeah.
And now if you're gonna do something with it personally, that's a little different. But on the fur market, it's useless. You'll get nothing for it.
Yeah,
it's a handcuff. It doesn't damage the fur. It doesn't damage the skin. It doesn't break bones. It's just there to hold them.
Yeah, and it's got swivels everywhere, so they can't rip their leg off and break stuff. Yeah. It's actually like the most humane thing. It just holds them in place.
Right, and but we're allowed to use conibears now. Granted, they have to be underwater, but whatever swims into a conibear is done.
Yeah,
it's done. Yeah. A 330 conibear, they're 330 pound springs. It's done. Actually, I was trying to prove to my aunt one time how safe the conibears were, and I did snap a beaver trap off on my arm right in front of her. It wasn't a good look. She freaked out. I was totally calm. Luckily, one of the safeties had come off. So the American-made traps, the safeties they're loose. So it'll hold the spring, but that last little bit when you pinch the trap shut and set the dog, that last little quarter-inch of movement on the American-made traps, the safeties will fall away.
Oh,
Canadian ones, they stay in place. One of the safeties fell away, and I didn't notice it, and I bumped the trigger, and one of the springs went off of my arm.
How'd you get it off you? I got stuck in a conibear one time.
I think my dad was with me. Like, he was home, and my setters were nearby, but like the string trick, you can't beat it. All you need is a string trick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I've seen a video of that after I was stuck for about an hour and a half while my wife was working a night shift at home alone, and I was messing with it. It was like it wasn't big. It was probably maybe 6 inches in diameter.
So like a 220.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, it hurt like
220 or 180. Yeah,
dude, it hurt like a biatch. It hurt so bad, and I stayed calm, but it hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm. It's designed to kill. That's why.
And it was like squeezing my fingers overlapping each other. So what I did was I was like going to call my sister to like drive over and help me. I felt like I was trapped, like literally.
Yeah.
And I ended up like getting a shed antler, like a nice one, like a nice, heavy body. And I ended up getting the point of it in there and then just like putting all my weight on it. And it just went in and got thicker and thicker and loosened and loosened. And then I was able to.
Was it a single spring or a double?
Double, and I was bleeding, or maybe it was single. I was bleeding everywhere because it was like ripping my skin off. I was trying to pull my hand out. It was so bad, dude. That thing scared the living piss out of me. Yeah, because I was like messing with it and I was trying to like do something. And then like, I think I said it like an idiot and I tried to adjust the little, like a moron. And it just,
it goes off in the blink of an eye. There's no warning, no
dude,
nothing.
It was so scary, man. It was nuts. I'm like, dude, this thing is, if freaking Franny got stuck in that, she'd be dead and she'd be dead.
So quick.
Yeah, so quick.
Teddy told us about that with dogs, is that the danger of traps in the field. So if somebody set like a 220 conibear over a hole and a dachshund stuck its head in,
done.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, a 180 will kill a raccoon. Raccoon's a lot bigger than a dachshund.
Tougher than a dachshund too.
Yeah.
I always wondered what would happen if you slammed a 330 over somebody's head.
They would suffocate. For sure.
No, I'm saying set it to where it's just going to clamp onto their skull,
Oh, they'd hate you forever and have a wicked headache.
Yeah, it's not going to crush your skull, Aaron.
Yeah. I had to, so that out of season job, I got a snapping turtle, one of my 330s. And it was a decent sized snapping turtle, not huge, but he was just hanging out, waiting for me to let him go, trying to bite me the whole time while I was trying to release him.
Hissing at you too? They love to hiss. They go,
oh, of course. Yeah.
We gotta clip that.
They stink.
Oh, dude, I had a pet snapping turtle as a kid. It was so funny. I'd always take him out, and he was such an.
I had one as well.
Yeah, and he would just hiss. He'd be like,
I still have one. You guys fell off.
Yeah. It was. They're so dirty.
I kept mine for 4 years, and then took them back to where I found them and sent them home free.
They're the cutest little babies. They grow so quick.
When I found him, he was tiny. Yeah. He still had the mark on the underside of their shell, not the umbilical cord, but whatever.
That's where
he was still absorbing the yolk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they're so cool. Yeah, this guy, when we
was in a mud puddle in the middle of the woods, nowhere near the water.
Oh, that's cool.
We were walking back in the woods, and I just saw like the water just like move a little bit, and it was so shallow. I walked over and I was like, "Oh, check it out! It's a little tiny turtle," and I picked it up as a little baby snapper.
That's sweet.
I had him for a while, and like I think 4 or 5 years, and then let him go right back where I found him.
Good for you.
In the water, though. not in the puddle. I walked him over to the river. There's a couple hundred yards.
Just dropped him in the middle of the woods and walked away.
Spike him. Yeah. I've had alligator snapping turtles. Right now, I've got a leucistic snapping turtle, so it's solid white with like blue eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
You've seen her.
Blue eyes.
Did I see that?
Out in my shed.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, you got some cool stuff. Yeah, Aaron's like, I'm not really into reptiles anymore. He's got like literally everything at his house.
Yeah.
The guy that was, I get my inspiration, if you will, to become a falconer. Dude, he had everything under the sun. He had all these snakes, and he worked in pharmaceuticals. So he brought home some rats and mice from the lab, started breeding them to feed the snakes, and then he got into falconry, bred even more to feed the snakes and the birds. And then he had this monitor lizard that roamed the house like a dog. Like, and I'm not talking about like a 2-foot lizard. This thing was like 6 feet long.
Yeah, it was a water monitor, probably.
It was huge, yeah. And it was nasty. You walked up to it, whip you with its tail. It was nice to him.
That's so funny.
Didn't like anybody. Roamed the house like a dog.
Yeah, they're cool. They can get really tame. Phil, my sponsor, he had one in college, and it just lived in his dorm bathroom.
Yeah,
6 foot long. Yeah, just
had a couple ducks in my dorm room.
Yeah, ducks.
I got caught. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was just my freshman year, the second semester. Everybody just started buying ducks, and I said, why shouldn't I have a duck? And
all your friends buy ducks. Are you gonna buy ducks?
You're not allowed to have animals in your dorm room, and everybody would buy one duckling, so it would be in the room and it would chirp all day when they weren't there. So I bought 2 of them, and they kept each other company, and they were quiet as mice. And I had them for longer than anybody else. And the only reason I got caught was the fire marshal and the head RA for my dorm were walking around checking smoke detectors.
Oh, man.
And I was at class, and my buddy called me, and he said, Tiffany and the fire marshal just went in your room. I was like, what do you mean they went in my room? And they were standing there inspecting my damn smoke detector. And the ducks heard them, started peeping.
Oh, man. Busted.
So Yeah.
Oh man, it's fun. I don't have that experience living in a dorm room.
They had a sweet little setup.
Casey was homeschooled through college too.
Yeah, my dorm room was my bedroom. With a curfew and a bedtime and everything. So
look how good you turned out.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking great. I'm the best. So you were telling us a story pre-show that you had a little situation, when you were in your trapping days.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit, or would you rather not? No pressure.
We can talk about it.
All right.
So senior year of high school, I'm trapping, and one of my friends approached me and said, I think I'd like to get into it, but I'm not totally sure. Is it cool if I just come with you? And I said, absolutely. But I have one rule: no pictures, no videos, at all, because people around here they can't handle it. And he was great about it, and he started coming with me full time. And he was never any kind of outdoorsman. He just thought trapping sounded cool. Started coming with me, and he was totally committed to it. Like, I would get up 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning before school to run my trap line. And he was there every day, was never late, and helped me out. And after about a month, I just kind of got complacent, and I was dispatching a raccoon, and he took a video of it. I kind of knew he was filming, but I just didn't really, I was just focused on what I was doing, didn't think anything of it. And next day in school, he's sitting at the lunch table, and he shows the video to a couple guys at the table. My buddy Chris said, you should send that video in the group chat, because these two girls are in the group chat, and they're both bleeding heart.
Right.
It has a soul. It's a life. You can't kill it. It's a bug. Can't kill it. It's got a life. And Josh said, "Yeah, absolutely not. We're not doing that." Well, Josh left his phone on the table.
Oh my God.
And got up to go get ketchup for his goddamn French fries. And Chris knows passcode. And when he went to go get the ketchup, he took his phone, went into the videos, sent it in the group chat. And I was famous in a matter of hours in my town. It hit the town's Facebook page. And initially, somebody posted our names and said, this is who this is. And then somebody that one of my friend's parents saw that and got back on and said, these kids are minors. You better take their names down right now. And we were both 18. But they didn't know that, so they took our names down.
Good.
So, they took it down pretty quick. So very few people actually saw that. And it blew up. I got 3 days in a row, Fish and Wildlife came out to my house. They made me take them to every single trap site that I had in New Jersey over the course of 3 days. They checked everything out, licenses, everything. Fine tooth comb went through my life. I got pulled out of school by the Cinnamons and police department so they could talk to me about it. And the resource officer, he said, so I worked at a farm in town at the time, and he was a customer there. So, he said, I know you work at Hunter's Farm. Did this happen here? Or did that happen at the farm? And I said, I do have traps at the farm, but this video actually happened right here. He's like, what do you mean right here? I was like, dude, I got traps right behind the high school. Like, as soon as I get done class, school lets out, I walk down in the woods and check those traps. And he went on to Facebook that night, and this is day 2.
The cop did?
Yep.
Oh, God.
And said, this happened at Hunter's Farm.
And dude,
God. Within an hour, there was 300 comments. Boycott Hunter's Farm, boycott Hunter's Farm, boycott Hunter's Farm. And this farm's been in our town for 250 years. And I saw that at 1 o'clock in the morning and just got up, put my shit on, drove to the farm because I know. I just started pulling my stuff. And they saw me out there, and they came out and were obviously upset about it. Needless to say, I didn't have a job after that. So yeah, it was, and the outcome of Fish and Game's investigation was I did absolutely nothing illegal.
Of course.
And this went on for so many days that the mayor of our town had to get on Facebook and say, this was investigated by the police. It was investigated by Fish and Wildlife. No crimes were committed. Everything was legal. Everybody knocked the fuck off. And it quieted down a large part. But like I told you earlier, every once in a blue moon, I'll get a random Instagram DM from somebody that I've never talked to in my life. And, it's usually the pretty standard line, the last guy, for example, he, some kid from the town over, like I said, didn't know him from Adam. And he messages me and says, you have two options. I can either send this video to the police or you can come fight me. And I just messaged him back and said, I'll tell you what, why don't you send it to the police first and then I'll come fight you.
Yeah. Good.
And, convenient, nobody ever shows up.
Yeah, never.
And a girl I was dating at the time, her best friend knew that kid's girlfriend. And she went onto his Instagram and sends me a picture of him wearing a raccoon skin hat.
Of course.
And I sent the picture to him in his DMs. I said, that's a nice hat you got there, bud. That was the last I ever heard from that guy.
Oh, my God.
Sounds like your friend on Instagram, Casey.
Oh, my buddy. Yeah, I messaged him today. I can't really. I said, so that's Tyler. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Well, before we get off the subject, what did you do that was so egregious to these people?
It's a good question.
So in New Jersey, it's obviously very densely populated. When you take the trapping course, if you're in an area that you can legally discharge a firearm, obviously that's what you're going to do. But most of New Jersey, you can't. And some of the best places to trap are residential. So they teach you in the course you can basically stomp on its rib cage and stop its heart, or whack him in the head. So I carried a 3-pound hammer with me, and I would just, if you approach it right, it's not bad at all. If you just walk up there and try and whack them, you're in for a nightmare. But if you, calmly approach them, let them smell the hammer, they'll sniff it and then just be like, all right, cool. And then they'll just sit there like a dog, and you can get a nice clean shot, one hit, done. You just got to make sure you don't get too close to them. So when they're in like the dog proof traps, which is the only foothold style trap that we're legally allowed to use. Yeah, and with snares too. There's a circle. It's called a catch circle, and you can see it. So that when they're walking around, it forms a perfect circle, and that's as far as they can reach in any direction. You stay 1 inch on the outside of it, and they can't get you. And what I started to say earlier, I do a lot of my trapping at night because of how sensitive people are to it around here. And I had a raccoon and a dog proof, and here comes a car down the road, and I'm right next to the road. Like there's a culvert going under the road, and I was trapping the culvert. And my mom had actually come with me this morning, and she's holding the flashlight, and here comes the car. So I said, shut the light off. Well, she shut the light off. I couldn't see the catch circle anymore. And I walked into it, and that raccoon jumped on me so fast and mauled me.
Oh, my
shredded
God.
my leg. A brand new pair of jeans, shredded them. And I just kind of like pinched it shut till it stopped bleeding. Did the rest of what I had to do. Went to school, and I got this giant gash across my kneecap. And I'm sitting in homeroom, and I was looking at it, and like it was closed up and not bleeding, like an idiot. I poked it, and it split back open, blood everywhere.
Oh my God!
And I went down to the nurse's office, and she obviously said, what the heck happened? And I told her, I got attacked by a raccoon, and she actually pulled out her little nurse's handbook and started looking through the pages. And when there was nothing in there for, what to do in the event of a raccoon attack, she sent me home.
That's hilarious.
And I had to go to the hospital, get vaccinated for rabies, which thank God I had insurance. So this was 2015. How much do you think it cost me in 2015 to get vaccinated for rabies? Take a guess.
I mean, I'm sure it was
$75,000.
You're actually the first person to ever kind of get close.
Really?
It's $44,000.
That's such a scam, dude. They're giving that stuff away for free at the clinic.
No. That was a virtual bill. $40,000 for the medication and all that, and $4,000 in fees. Hospital fees.
They're just laundering money at this point. There's no way it costs that much money.
Yeah. It probably only cost that much money because I had insurance. If I had just walked in there and said I don't have insurance, probably been a hell of a lot cheaper.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I've been through the rabies shots too. I had no insurance, and I didn't pay a dime on it. And over the years, it just went away.
Did they make you sick?
What's that?
Did they make you sick? The shots?
They drained the life out of me. Like I couldn't wake up in the morning.
Sick. Yep.
I couldn't wake up. Like my buddy worked with me. I left my apartment unlocked so he could come in and wake me up, and he would have to like shake me awake.
Yeah.
That's so scary. What is there ever a case where you get the rabies shot and then you like
still come down with it?
You actually accidentally catch rabies from the shot?
I don't think so.
Yes, rabies scares me so bad, dude.
Yeah, it's supposed to be dead virus that they inject into you, but who the hell knows anymore?
It's terrifying, dude. It's so terrifying. Yeah. So basically you were dispatching the raccoon and your friend, who was probably the son of the guy who was putting the stakes out with the signs from earlier in the conversation, trying to infiltrate. He filmed it, and I'm guessing it wasn't a clean blow.
No, it was.
Oh.
It was. It was absolutely. So what I always did was I would hit him once, and then, like I said, 98% of the time it kills him first blow. I would always hit him a second time just to make sure. Because in the early stages of my trapping career, I hit one, thought it was done, put it in my backpack, put the backpack in the car. There's a couple raccoons in the pack. It's a pretty big pack. And I actually pulled up to that farm into my boss's driveway, and I popped the zipper to take the raccoons out from the last spot and go check my traps. And dude, I cracked that zipper 1 inch, and this raccoon shot out of this backpack like a missile, jumped over my shoulder, and starts running around my car in a circle in her driveway. And I'm chasing it. And the only reason I caught it because it still had the snare on it that I caught it in. And eventually one of the passes, it made it like cut it too short, and the swivel of the snare got wedged under the tire. There's people driving by. So after that incident, I always hit them twice just to make sure that they were done. But no, it was a clean shot. It was done right away. The other problem was when he took the video, he zoomed in on its face, and he's just on camera. You just got knocked the fuck out, and it wasn't a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Oh, yeah, it's bad.
So, and like I like I said, my traps were right behind the high school. I'm still in the clothes that I went to school. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and sneakers. Like, it didn't look like I was
a trapper. Yeah,
a trapper, a hunter. It just kind of looked like I was just some kid that came across a raccoon and just decided to beat it to death.
Yeah, it's bad.
Which is why I always say, no pictures, no videos. I don't ever really post anything.
Yeah.
It's not because not so much that I don't want to. It's just like that. I'm glad Fish and Game does what they do. I've not had good experiences with them.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't want the attention. I just don't want it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's easier for me to go about my life and just, if I know you and you're a close friend, I'll send you a Snapchat or something. But I really don't post a lot on social media. I just don't want the attention.
Yeah.
Casey, what do you think about that?
I think if he doesn't want the attention, he doesn't want the attention. I think it's once Fish and Wildlife kind of has like their sights on you, they can really make your life miserable.
Yeah,
absolutely. They really can,
Yeah. It's like I said, like we gotten a couple tickets that were just, they absolutely did not. The one was totally bogus. I tried to fight it in court. I spent 9 months fighting it in court, and they still found me guilty. They said I was hunting in a safety zone. And this is a spot that I've been hunting for 5 years at this point. And what happened was, so we were duck hunting up this creek, and the creek comes up and then splits and then goes around an island and joins back up and forms a single creek. Well, we could hear 2 boats coming up the creek, and one boat comes around to one side of the island, hooks a right, and doubles back and goes around the other side. Well, Fish and Game was chasing them in a boat, and they didn't realize that they doubled back on them. And then they saw us sitting there and came over and just, unload your guns, this and that. And, you're hunting in a safety zone. I was like, no, we're not. Like, I've mapped this out on my phone. I've been hunting here for years. Like, I've been stopped by the police here multiple times. They always come down. Nobody ever has a problem with it. Like, I'm like, dude, look, here it is on my phone. I mapped it out. Look, I'm over 150 yards. No, that doesn't matter. It matters what we say. It doesn't matter what your phone says. There's a wall of brush behind us, dude. It might as well be this wall right here. And the lieutenant pulls out a rangefinder. Yup, you're 130 yards.
Oh my God.
And I looked at him, I was like, dude, you're not going to sit there and tell me that you bounced the laser off that building that you can't see. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
Didn't care. Wrote me the ticket, found me guilty. And I actually got very, very lucky. I fought it for so long, the warden who wrote me the ticket stopped coming into court.
Oh.
And by that 9-month mark, I went through a couple different attorneys because, nobody really knows Fish and Game law.
Yeah.
And he stopped coming to court. And the last attorney that I had just looked at the prosecutor one day and was like, yo, can we just amend this to some kind of township ordinance? The prosecutor didn't know Fish and Game law. The judge didn't know Fish and Game law. So the prosecutor looked at the judge, said, is that okay with you? Yup, it's okay with me. And they changed it from a DFW violation to just a township ordinance. Well, that was never supposed to happen. But the game warden wasn't in court to say, no, you can't do that. So it didn't go down officially as a DFW violation.
Good, yeah.
And then 2 years later, I was pheasant hunting. And the logo on my hat was black. Whatever, Remington in black.
Yeah.
And I got a ticket on the ticket, it said not wearing any orange. That's what the ticket said. I got a bird vest on. The hoodie that I'm wearing under is completely orange. Head, chest, back, my hat. Wrote me a ticket for not wearing any orange because my logo is black.
What the heck?
Which it does say in the damn book, if you're hunting on a wildlife management area stocked with pheasant or quail, your hat has to be 100% hunter orange. It says Remington on the front of it in black. It's illegal. They wrote me a ticket for that. That's the kind of stuff that it kills me. You get pulled over by a police officer and he's most likely going to use some discretion.
Right.
I've been pulled over a lot. I haven't got a lot of tickets. Every time a game warden has ever had the opportunity to write me a ticket, they did it.
You think that they're in your system?
I'm not running around trying to break the law, or I try and follow all the laws, but there's a lot of little tiny obscure ones that are overlooked easily.
Yeah.
And the hat.
Yeah. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's the kind of one that, I don't know, maybe you're an asshole to the game wardens and that's why they do it. But that's the kind of thing that you would just think they'd be like, listen, man, I just want to let you know the black on there, it's got to be solid
right.
orange.
And I would have gone out and bought a new hat that night.
Yeah.
But, I feel like every time I've been stopped by a game warden, they're just mad for no reason. So it was a woman that wrote me the ticket for that hat. She screamed at me across this field. Get over here! Screaming at me. What the hell did she say? Something about you people, the reason that people always get shot. And when she said that, It's the only time I've ever yelled at a law enforcement officer. Like, I freaked out because she's standing there writing me this ticket because I got a black logo on my hat, and directly behind her in the bird field that my money pays to put there is laid fucking flat because somebody came in there last night and just did donuts in it and destroyed it. And I said that to her. I'm like, instead of coming out here and actually doing your job and catching those people, you're just out here hassling people that are trying to do it the right way. Like, fuck you. And then I was all pissed off. She gave me my ticket and like I grabbed it from her and I dropped it. And when I bent over to pick it up, all the shells fell out of my vest and my water bottles.
Oh,
and
God.
Like that pissed me off even more. And then she's like, "Oh, let me help you." And I said, No. You've done enough. Get away from me. Like,
You've done enough. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, this discretion part. Yeah, they can be real.
The attitude down here is totally different towards hunting and fishing in the South.
Yeah,
they're combative. They're combative.
They'll still jam you up here, but that's crazy to me. That.
I just got a ticket last spring. I've been fishing down the shore my whole entire life. Never once have I ever forgot to do the saltwater registration. And last year, the first time I went down early spring to fish, it slipped my mind and I forgot to do the registration. It's free. It doesn't cost any money. And we got stopped by a warden and, do you have your registration? And I was totally honest with him. I said, "Sir, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've never forgot. I've always had it, but I don't remember getting it this year. It's the first time I've come down this year." And he's like, "Oh, well, you've had it before." Absolutely. I said, "For at least the last 15 years, I can guarantee you that I've had it." And he said, "So when I look you up, it's going to show?" Absolutely. Comes back, hands me a ticket.
Oh, my God.
For a free registration. It's not like I skipped out on a license. The state wasn't getting cheated out of their money. I totally forgot to do this stupid free registration. And I got a ticket for it. And, the way fishing game law works in New Jersey, any 2 tickets in a 5-year span and you lose your hunting license.
You're done. Yeah, it's scary, man.
So now, for the next 4 years, I got to worry, about stupid stuff like that. Because if I get another ticket in the next 4 years, I'd have to appeal their decision to hopefully hold my license.
Oh,
and if they deem my crimes to be, too great, then they deny the appeal.
Sounds like you need to move.
Absolutely, dude. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. They're
Normally we discourage from people from moving down south, but you guys might need to.
No, I could never do it. So I lived in Matthews, North Carolina for a year. And it was brutal, dude. I can't do the humidity. No way.
That's near me. That's very close to me.
Yeah, I can't do the heat either.
Right, Matthews. I was down in Charlotte for the riots. We went and checked it out. It was neat.
What were you down here for a year for?
I was playing football at a prep school down there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
So that's the sports you were playing when you were talking about sports?
I played lacrosse. I wrestled. I played basketball, football. I think the only thing that I ever didn't do was track.
I was going to say, you kind of struck me as like a pole vaulter kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I don't have the body type for it. I land too hard.
Well, you're like real tall. Yeah, I'm like that big butch short guy that just spins around, throws the thing.
He'd be great at shot put or disc
thrower.
I could throw that disc. Hold it up by your ear, spin it around.
You definitely could. So, trapping, you don't do much of it anymore because you'd said earlier you're focused on falconry during that time of the year.
Yeah, to do either one of those sports properly, you have to put all your time into it. Like trapping, you got to go out, you got to find where you want to trap, get your trap set. You have to check every trap once in a 24-hour period. And, if you're successful, then you have to take the animal home. You got to skin it, then you got to board it, or skin it, and then you got to flesh it, and then you got to board it. It's a lot of work involved. And you can't do that in Flybird. So, I just, Robbie and his daughter both went out and got their trapping licenses 2 or 3 years ago. And now I just go with them. All the spots that I used to beaver trap, like damage control and all that, and a lot of my personal spots, we continue to trap them just through her license. This year, unfortunately, she didn't draw a tag. But yeah, water trapping is my favorite. Muskrat's, beaver,
which is it's so crazy to me, the whole tag concept for beaver.
And there's so many of them. I get not all of New Jersey's like that. There's no reason for South Jersey to not be. There's not that many trappers to start.
Yeah,
it's a dying art, and there's so many beavers. Like if I was allowed to, I could have gone out and trapped 50, 60 beaver a season and not put a dent in the population. You know, like you figure you got 6 to 8 beavers per house, depending on the time of year before they kick the 2-year-olds out to make room for the young. But 6 to 8 beavers per house. Like I said, I could tell you where 25 houses are within 20 minutes of my house, right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
How many beavers is that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the ones you know about.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's just the ones that I know about.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yep. And then there's a spot by me on my way home from work. I see it all the time. I think Aaron saw it the one day. Maybe that's a different spot. But it's just like it's like a giant lake, and there's like a swamp. There's beaver houses all over it. Mm-hmm. Like there's like 6 giant beaver in this one lake, and like right by the road, there's like sign that says no trapping. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Like you're not gonna do anything,
right?
You know what I mean? You're not gonna put a dent in it. There's so many in there.
Have you ever eaten it?
Yes, Aaron cooked it.
Delicious.
Aaron does some trapping every year.
Delicious.
Haven't done any
I think
this
it's
year.
better than venison.
Better than venison, right?
Absolutely.
Way better. Yeah. It's
no
crazy.
doubt.
It's the best game meat I've ever had.
Same.
Bison's pretty good.
Yeah, bison's just like you're eating a cow, basically.
I've never had wild bison. I mean, maybe that's better. Bison. Are you talking about like farm raised bison, Tyler? Or are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean it was farm raised bison that I shot in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a place up in New York. They just like own the side of this mountain, and they got all kinds of shit running around their property. That's where this fallow deer came from.
Oh, that's cool. How far up?
It's Cold Brook Hunts is the name of the place. But they just, it's high fence. Yeah, I get it.
I don't care. I'll shoot a bison and eat it.
Yeah. Like I can't just like afford a bison tag right now. Take the time to go out there and do it. And the only reason that I went and shot it anyways, because of how much I like the meat.
No, yeah, the meat's good.
And you get so much, like when you have the whole animal.
It's insane.
There's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
A lot of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a falconer out west that has an operation for bison, and he sells the meat. And I helped James Maynard when we both pulled peregrine permits the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And I trapped mine with Bill Brown. Shout out to Bill Brown. And then James wanted help, and I helped him out. We didn't trap one, but we got close. And I had to like take days off of work. Like it was a big commitment to help James. And which I was happy to do. He's helped me out with a lot of things. And then like as a thank you gift, he just sent me it probably cost him $1,000. It was like this huge box from this guy out west. It was just all bison meat, like steaks, roasts, jerky. It was so good.
Yep.
So good. But the beaver, it's just, you can't really beat it. I mean, it's
in a league of its own. It really is.
It really is, dude. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, the dark horse, whatever. It's like, so like nobody knows about it, and it's so good. And like, if everybody knew about it, it would be over.
So when the first year that I ever trapped beaver, I think the first 4 that I caught, I just kind of assumed, it's a giant water rodent. It's probably no good to eat. And that the first 3 or 4 that I trapped, I didn't save the meat from them. And I was at my bird club one day, and one of the older guys found out I was beaver trapping, and he came up and said, what are you doing with the meat? And I was like, the beaver meat? Nothing, throwing it out. And he's like, no, that's really good. And I was like, beaver? No way. He's like, if you get some tonight, bring it with you tomorrow and we'll cook it for lunch. So left the club, went, checked my traps, had 2 more. And I took the 2 back legs off of them. And the one I marinated overnight and the one we just grilled completely plain, literally nothing on it. And the completely plain one was my favorite, more than the marinated one.
Wow. Yeah.
It was delicious. And then I was pissed that I didn't save those first 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But every beaver that I've trapped after that went right in the freezer.
Yeah, it has to. You know, even for the birds and stuff now, like, during the molt and stuff, like, it's such good meat if you're not going to eat it. But after eating it now, it's like, you can't just feed that to the birds. It's too good to feed to the birds.
Somebody not too long ago that I was talking to about that, and they said they were feeding their bird beaver meat, and made the comment as a waste of good beaver meat.
Yeah,
feed the bird.
Muskrat.
Yeah, great food for the bird, but better food for me.
Yeah. What about muskrat? Have you eaten muskrat?
I have not. It's darker, almost like a purplish meat.
I've heard it's really good.
I know a lot of people do eat it. I would imagine they have the same diet that a beaver does. Yeah. I can't see why it wouldn't be good. I just haven't tried it.
It's a little more sketchy to eat muskrat than it is beaver for some reason.
Parasites?
No, it probably. I mean, I'm sure it's totally safe, but it's more of a rat than a beaver is.
Yeah.
Right, because its tail is not as flat as the other one.
Exactly. It has a skinny tail. It's like a squirrel. They have a furry tail instead of a skin tail.
I've never eaten squirrel. Well, I did,
really.
But in passing, Aaron, at the meet 2 years ago, the North Carolina meet, I had the squirrel with you guys.
That's the only time you've ever eaten it?
Yeah, but it was in a big jumble of other stuff in the stew, so I couldn't tell what was what, but I heard it's really good. I've never eaten one.
Delicious. That was another thing that I had a negative view of for a long time. I got 2 squirrels one time and I cooked them up and I just had no idea what I was doing with preparing squirrel and I way overcooked them. Like I fried them excessively.
Right.
And cooked them 2 different ways and took a bite after the first piece and realized I'd probably rather eat the tire off my truck and just threw the rest of it in the trash. And then for years, never tried it. But I always said, if somebody who knew what they were doing cooked it for me, I would try it again. And 2 years ago or a year ago, fairly recently, I had that opportunity. It was delicious. Delicious. Better than rabbit.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. And I love rabbit. I think rabbit's the best.
Definitely better than rabbit.
And how are guys cooking it? Like slow cooking it, frying it?
The way that I had it was super simple, light flour dredge and lightly fried, and then just made a homemade buffalo sauce and glazed it with it, and it was incredible.
Sounds good.
It was incredible.
Yeah, I
just way overcooked the first batch and had a terrible view about it for a long time because of it.
Yeah, been there. Pretty much any game meat, if you overcook it, it's shot.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on masking game meat. I like to taste what it actually tastes like.
Yeah. It's like goose. A lot of people have a negative view of goose. I think goose is delicious.
Yeah, that's like a big thing with geese. They say that it tastes like trash.
Yeah. So with snow geese, if you shoot a bird that's been in a cornfield for the last month, just as good as any Canadian. You shoot a bird that came out of the salt marsh for the last month, they smell. They just have once you smell it, you can never unsmell it. What I usually do with them is summer sausage. Because you're putting so much into it, and you got to cut it with pork anyway. So when you do it that way and then you smoke it, it's delicious. But if you were to snow goose been in the marsh all winter and you shot it and just thought you were going to grill it like Canadian, it's not very good. Not very good, in my opinion. But that same bird, if he's in a cornfield for a month, just as good.
I know some people do sausage.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that kind of, if it's, salt, a goose that's been hanging out in a salt marsh, it's more edible if you do a sausage.
I think a lot of the reason that snow geese get a bad rap too is they're so migratory, and they're so willing to get up and fly. Like, Canadians come down in the field, they're gonna hang out there for most of the day. They might go back short distance and loaf somewhere, and then come back to the field. But like snow geese, they're up and down and flying around large portion of the day, huge migration flights. So the meat can be a little tougher, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's anything crazy different.
I've seen them out in Kansas. It looks like a whirlwind, like a tornado of geese flying around. Yeah. And they say they're really bad.
I've gone out there a few times waterfowl hunting. It was a blast.
Oh, so you've been out to Kansas doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard they're bad for avian influenza right now.
Yeah. So the last time I went there, well, every time I've gone there, I brought the birds with me. So we'll waterfowl hunt the mornings and then go rabbit hawking in the evening. And the last time I was out there, bird flu was really, really bad. And I had 2 birds with me. And, it's a waterfowl hunting outfit. They're bringing birds back every day. There's pieces of birds everywhere. And
yeah,
the first time I went there, I flew my red tail right at the lodge. I mean, there's rabbits everywhere. But, then bird flu started getting bad. And, there's, like I said, there's little scrap pieces of bird everywhere because they clean all the birds back at the lodge for you. I was cleaning the lodge every night. Everybody would go to bed, and then I would clean everything in the lodge with microban. And I was mopping the floors, wiping tables, doorknobs, everything. Just trying to ward it off. Because like the one hunt, we hunted this quarry, and when the birds kicked out of there, we waited for them to go feed, and then we came in behind them and set up on the quarry for when they come back to water midday. When they got up and left, there was 11 birds that didn't get up and leave. They stayed out on the ice, and it was all birds that had bird flu.
God.
And one of the helpers from the outfit, when he went out to go pick up some cripples, he grabbed all those dead geese and dying geese and threw them in the boat and brought them back to the blind.
Oh my God.
And I was like, dude, why did you bring, you know that I have my birds with me. You know that I'm paranoid about this shit for good reason. Why did you bring those birds back here? You should have left them out there.
Oh God.
And I mean, it ended up working out. And
so all your birds survived.
They did. Yes.
You catch rabbits out there?
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of rabbits.
There's a lot of rabbits, but where we were, there's so many other birds. If you went out there with your dogs, you'd probably clean up.
Yeah.
A lot of the movement's nocturnal out there, at least late season. I can't speak for early. I always go late December, early January. You pull into a cornfield to set up in the morning, there's rabbits everywhere.
Oh.
And then the sun comes up and they're just like, okay, where'd they go? We went to one of the guides' deer leases. And when I say you could not take a single step walking anywhere in the field without stepping in rabbit shit, it was just blanketed.
Oh, I like that.
And there was just brush piles here and there. The farmer would come in with a dozer and knocked all the cedars down and just piled up, and he just went brush pile to brush pile.
Oh.
And they were in that shit.
Oh,
it was hard to get him out without the dog, but we got it done.
You don't run a dog, do you?
I do not.
Why not?
A couple reasons.
I know you said you're tough already, so I mean, maybe that's part of it. You just like to torture yourself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely. If I'm not bleeding at the end of a hunt, I didn't really try.
I mean, I bleed anyway, so I mean, maybe my dog's just.
It's just not where I am. I have bird dogs, but where I am, you just don't need a dog to get it done. If you love the dog and watching the dog work, and you like good dog work, totally get it. I probably will have dogs eventually for falconry, but I'm in my 20s. I don't need a dog yet.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, you need a dog. I'm convinced after the PA meet.
PA meat, dude, that's like the easiest meat ever. There's rabbits everywhere.
Because you got dogs. Try doing it without your dog.
It's a good point. No, I mean that's the only meet I've ever been to that rivals the Jersey meet in game numbers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rabbits at that meet. A ton of rabbits at that meet.
The only so JP and I went out a lot, and the only time that we consistently moved rabbits at the PA meet was when we had the dogs down. I went out a few times on my own, and like some of these spots that I was going, if it was New Jersey, they'd be crawling in there at like just the most prime looking spots ever. And I'm one guy with a beating stick.
Yeah.
And I go in there, and in an hour and a half, I move 3 rabbits. So I should have moved 20.
Yeah, out there. But yeah.
I did flush a pheasant this year, which I was not expecting. Which my heart sank when I flushed it, because with the Harris, I love to hunt pheasants with them. But when I first started doing it with them, you got to see the whole flight. If you didn't get it in that first 30, 40 yards, that was it. And after about a year and a half of hunting pheasants with him, he learned if he doesn't get that initial go at him, he'll just follow him.
Oh, okay.
Stay like 100 yards behind them. And as soon as they hit the ground, he'd smoke them. And pheasants fly a long way when you flush them. It always turned into a telemetry chase because, after you jump a bird in the woods, you can't see it when it comes down 300-400 yards later.
Oh yeah.
And my telemetry battery was dead at the PA meet. So, and I said something to JP about it, and he had a spare battery. So he gives me a spare battery. Well, I turned the transmitter off. Go into the field, realize I didn't have a magnet to turn it back on. Whatever, dude. We're just hunting rabbits, go in the field. And we jumped this rooster nowhere near like where I would have thought, you know where Shiloh is, right?
I think so.
I was like 3/4 of a mile from there. That was the closest place that I know of that put pheasants out. And we jumped this rooster up, and the bird comes out of the tree and just takes off after it. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, the telemetry's not on. If he catches this, we're in trouble. Like, sun's about to be down and it's going to be dark in 25 minutes.
Oh, that's sketchy.
And thank God, dude, it was a strong flying bird. It flew a long way, and he chased it for about 250, 300 yards and then peeled off and went up to a tree. Thank God.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, in those moments, because he's.
It would have been not good. He definitely would have been spending the night out.
Are all the pheasants in Jersey stocked? Are they breeding at all?
Yeah, we don't have any wild birds anymore. I was born in the wrong time.
The Meadowlands,
Casey the contrarian. He's got to say something.
No, the Meadowlands has wild. Well, I don't. Obviously, none of them are wild. But the ones in the Meadowlands have been there for decades and decades. Because it's just, if you look at the Meadowlands, it's like stadium, field. I'm talking like 100,000 acre of just Phragmite.
Yeah,
impenetrable Phragmite, and they live and breed and all that stuff, and it goes up over these big old what are they, Tyler? Those are like big old dumps that they covered with dirt.
Yeah,
and then the Phragmite grows up over that, so they're breeding in there. And I know they're in there because I went in there with Eric Swanson, who he's got all kinds of story. We're gonna get him on. He's got all kinds of stories from the Meadowlands back in the day, like crazy stuff going on in there. And I was there. We were flying one of his Falcons, and you would hear the roosters. You'll never get them out or find ever. It's just impenetrable and just as far as the eye can see. And you hear them in there calling and stuff, and they're there. It's not even feasible to even think about hunting them.
Yeah, they're so prone to use their feet to get away from you.
Yeah. Even with dogs, you're not going to get them out of there.
You'd need 50 guys, 25 on that side, 25 on that side, 10 dogs in between, and everybody walks towards each other.
With an opening on the other side.
Yeah.
That's the only way it would ever happen. Yeah, and it's not feasible. But that's the only place in Jersey that I know of that they are probably wild, and they've been there for a really long time, and they're consistently still there, but you can't hunt them.
Yeah. No, you can't hunt them there.
I mean, you can.
Okay. I thought you meant like from a legal perspective.
You just got to do like Native American style and just light that thing on fire with the wind and just wait for them to shoot out the other side and then shoot them. Yeah, that was one of their It's a very
I wish we had wild birds. The only wild bird that we have that's at my disposal that's not a waterfowl bird is woodcock.
Woodcock is sweet, yeah.
Yeah, and I love hunting woodcock. I've always wanted to do it with the Harris.
You should.
Over our dogs. But I just never. I do too much stuff. I don't even really start my falconry season till the end of November. Just because deer hunting, duck hunting,
fishing,
yeah. Striper fishing's the best in November. Tuna fishing's incredible in October and November. I do a lot.
Yeah. Do you charter too?
Do I take people out?
I feel like you're always out on the water. Is that your boat or how does that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You got to get me and Aaron. We'll do a follow up to this episode. We'll do some tuna fishing with you.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so down. I've always wanted to do that. I'm scared of sharks though.
I gotta get. Well, don't ever go on a scallop boat if you're scared of sharks. Don't go in the water.
I'm terrified of sharks. I can't. I just can't.
We need to get Casey out there and just we'll tackle him and dangle his feet in the water.
I'll literally just.
I wish I had a picture of it, man. Was it right 3 or 4 years ago? We were coming back in from the canyon, and we were 30 miles.
What's the canyon?
The canyon. So if you look at a map where the continental shelf drops off.
Yeah, bro. I'm all good on that, bro.
There's canyons that jut in. So the continental shelf, say, is 90 some miles out.
Yeah.
To get to that deep water, the canyons come inshore from that, but it's just an underwater canyon where it's thousands of feet deep.
Yeah.
But the tip of the Hudson, it's only 75 miles out roughly. But to get to the mouth, the Hudson Canyon is huge. It's gigantic.
I'm literally getting like goosebumps right now just thinking about that. That sounds.
But so when I started, we were coming in from the canyon, and we were 30 miles from Barnegat Inlet, and I saw probably one of the coolest fish I've ever seen out there. Dude, was a massive female great white, right up on top, sunning herself. We're in a 30-foot boat, and I looked over the side at that thing, and the first thing that popped into my head was, how the fuck does anybody survive getting attacked by that thing, even accidentally? They're big until you see one in person. It's just like a submarine in the water. They're not that long, but the girth is, it looks like a submarine. And their mouth is massive. Massive.
I would love to see one in the wild.
Tiger sharks are cool too. Tiger sharks are beautiful.
That's what 3 man-eaters, tigers, bulls, and great whites.
Yeah, we got them all here. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah, no, all the Rhode Island guys who were buddies with them. They fish like crazy like you, and they tell a story. It's just, they're just like demons, just lurking everywhere. Yeah. It's so scary, dude. I don't know how people swim in the beach, bro.
I think a lot less people would probably swim if they knew how many sharks are actually in the, you don't, when you think of New Jersey beaches, you don't think of sharks. Dude, they're there.
I do.
They're in the bay. You would be floored how many sharks are in the bay and what size of sharks are in the bay.
Oh,
floored.
Yeah, that's scary. And the water, sometimes low tide in the bay, it's like chest height. Like you could get out and walk around, and like those suckers are in there, dude.
I know people that have been out clamming in the bay down like Tuckerton area.
Yeah.
For some reason, the water's just more murky. Down like Barnegat Bay, the water's fairly clear. You're in 3 feet of water, you can see the bottom, but down by Tuckerton, it's just a little more murky. And like I've heard a lot of people clamming down there where they've had sharks come in and bump them while they're clamming.
Dude, hell no, bro. That'd be my first and last.
Stingrays too. The stingrays are, which I like. I don't know if I would want to clam down there because I can't see the bottom. Because there's been plenty of times where I've been clamming in Barnegat Light, and everything looks totally normal, bottom looks good, and you're just walking along clamming, and then you just see this cloud just pick up out of the mud, and it's a 40, 50 pound rough tail. And they've never bothered me. They always just move off, but some of those jokers are big.
And what do you mean never bother you? Like they're gonna come around and stab you like Steve Irwin style?
Like you get right up on them before they actually spook. And like I've never had one try and strike at me. They always just get up and move off. And we've caught some big stingrays shark fishing from the beach.
Yeah.
But they were mostly butterfly rays. So their tails, it's real short. They do have a good stinger on them, but like I said, their tail's so short. Like if you got stuck by a butterfly ray, you had to have been like piss drunk and you just weren't paying attention.
Yeah, like that guy in that one like viral video that like picked the one up. You ever seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, look at the fish. And you just see it swinging, trying to stab him. And like he can't see it. And then you just see him, it just sinks that thing in like 3 inches into his hand.
Oh, yeah, my best friend had a stupid moment like that a few years ago. He caught a small stingray from the surf, and he just like he was drunk, and he just like got down, took a knee next to it to take like a trophy pose, and it whipped its tail up and stuck its stinger right up underneath his kneecap.
Oh God,
dude!
And
there's like venom. There's like venom in that thing too, right?
Yeah, but it's not. If you're allergic to it, obviously it's different. But I remember he was pissed because he went to the hospital, went to the emergency room, and he sat in there for hours.
Yeah,
and like they knew why he was there. They knew he got stung by a stingray, and it was like 4 or 5 hours. It might even been 6 hours that he sat there. And they take him back, and a nurse brings him a warm towel. And she said, here, put this on your knee. And he's like, dude, I put the warm towel on my knee, and it instantly felt better. And I was so mad. He's like, I've been sitting here all these hours, and all you had to do is tell me to put a warm compress on it.
Oh, my God. That's, ugh. And then, so Steve Irwin, he died because it stung him in his chest, like
directly in the heart.
It stabbed his heart.
Directly in the heart, yeah.
And that one,
I don't even think the venom killed him. I think it was just the barb piercing his heart. I'm not sure on that.
There's a full video of that too somewhere, but they were not going to release it, right?
Probably not. I mean, it's the internet. I'm sure you can find it if you looked hard enough.
I know. I don't think you can. I think that they like.
Yeah, they never released it. They were filming a documentary though when it happened, so they were filming. Yeah. But Steve Irwin, man, that dude is my hero.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that guy's the best. Sucks that he died like that, though.
Died doing what he loves, though.
Yeah, but I think a croc would have been more fitting.
Yeah. It's a terrible way to go, though.
Yeah, a croc. Yeah, we've had this debate on the show. I think I'd rather get killed by a croc.
A stingray sting through the heart, that would probably actually not be a horrible way to go.
It'd probably hurt more.
I feel like it's more pleasant than getting drowned.
Well, I'd rather get drowned than chunks ripped off of me by a shark while I'm floating in the water. Because they're not going to drown you.
Fair.
They're going to bite you, and then they're going to shake and rip pieces off of you as your terror is coursing through your body.
We got to go shark fishing now. I'll show you some sharks.
Casey, imagine being on a boat and it's like sinking or something.
Bro, that's like my heart just fluttered in my chest when you said that.
I'll have to try and get some videos for you this year.
I can't, dude. I just can't with the sharks.
I'll never forget my first trip scalloping.
And okay, so describe, what do you like? I love to eat me a good scallop, but how do you go out and get them?
So use a dredge. It's, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's basically a big steel net you drag along the bottom, and it's got these ports. There's a angled blade that works like an airplane wing. It'll channel the air, and it creates lift. It does the same thing, so it creates lift off the bottom, so it picks the scallops up off the bottom. They get pulled into the bag, and then your tows are all different depending on what kind of fishing you're on, what kind of bottom you're on. If you're on great fishing, you only have to make a 20-minute tow before you get a bushel or two.
Wow.
But it's my first trip ever on the scallop boat. We finish up, we get it. So we're allowed on the day boat. We're allowed 606 pounds a day.
Jeez.
And open bottom boats, it's 800 pounds a day. Open bottom boats also don't. So those trips when you're out there for a couple weeks at a time, those are the open bottom boats. They're allowed 800 pounds per day. So 800 on Monday, 800 on Tuesday, and you have to buy your quota, right? It's not just a free for all. So you get a set amount. So like the boat that I fished on last year, we were allowed 15,000 pounds for the season.
God. So there's that many of them, and it's a renewable resource, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's just
there's really not that many scallop boats.
Right.
If you think about it, for how many people love to eat scallops, there's really not that many boats. A lot of scallops are imported from Brazil, but like if you want a good scallop, it's got to be fresh. And there's no better way to eat a scallop than to pull them up off the bottom of the ocean, cut them open right there, and eat them raw. It's hands down the best way.
Really, I've never done that. Yep. Yeah, that's
it's incredible.
I don't know why seafood's okay to eat like that, but nothing else. It's like, could you imagine doing that to a beaver?
You could probably do that to a beaver. Yeah, maybe good point.
Later.
I mean, you could kill a buffalo or a white-tailed deer and start slicing. When it's dead, you can start slicing fillets off of it and eating it. You're not going to get sick.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
You sure about that?
100%. I'm 100% sure about that. You can eat red meat like that. You can eat it raw. You won't get sick. I mean, damn, people get like friggin' medium rare. Medium rare, like that's what you think. That's like it's raw inside.
Medium rare is overcooked.
yeah. You could eat that stuff raw. From what I've heard and my extensive research.
I have all
the evidence that you will not get sick and die.
And the sharks.
And all your evidence is just that you've done it a few times.
I read like a mountain man book one time. That's my evidence. Man, that's so you're dabbling in like a lot of different things.
Yeah. The tuna fishing and all that, that's all like just for fun.
Yeah.
The scallop that's doing it for the money, baby.
Oh, you make money doing that?
Hell yeah. Not doing it for free, dude. That's work.
So what do? You go back to the dock and there's like a bunch of Japanese guys there with like briefcases and they're like bidding over what you got. Like, how does that work?
We come back into Viking Village and then we sell directly to the dock.
To the dock. What if you went past the dock? Would you get more money? You know what I'm saying? Or like, how does it?
You could, but it's like an intricate relationship between the boats and the dock because like neither one of those can exist without the other one.
Oh, I gotcha.
So there's a lot of loyalty. So like you could make a lot more money. So say, we come in and we have the sizes for scallops, U10, U12, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50. And so U10 is under 10 scallops to make 1 pound.
Okay.
U12 under 12, 20 to 30 per pound, and so on. If we catch all U12s, which is like great, the bigger they are, the more money they're worth. The dock might buy them from us for $28 a pound. They just take that bag, set it in their window, the store right there.
For $50.
Yep.
Yeah.
50% markup.
Gotcha.
Yep. So like in theory, you could, so like Dave Marciano did this from Wicked Tuna. He started Angelica Fisheries because, if you cut out the middleman, you get all the profit.
Yeah.
So like, if the captain of my boat said, I'm going to start my own seafood business, I'm going to sell my own scallops for $50 a pound. Well, he's making double the money now.
Right.
But then you're cutting out the dock that you have your boat at.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it's like it's a weird relationship. Like they can't exist without each other. More money can be made, yeah, sure, but it's just kind of how the industry is.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, and you don't want to make enemies. You don't want to make enemies with the dock down there. You give the dock what they need, they give you what you need.
The dock's got to get their cut.
Dock's got to get their cut.
Yeah. So,
Casey, I think you would be good. You'd be good at the dock wearing a little newsboy hat and a pea coat and
Yeah, we could really use you actually in the fish holds when we're packing out. You'd fit down there great.
Yeah,
you
dude,
can get up on top of the ice piles.
I got a little Peaky Blinders hat on down there. Like I got 3 bushels coming up.
Yep. But no, it's a cool job, dude. You see a lot of cool shit.
Oh, I'm still thinking about Casey down there.
dressed like a newspaper kid, like from Oliver Twist or something.
No, when you're down when you're down there, you got your Peaky Blinders hat with like the wife beater and suspenders with some slacks, you know.
Yeah, the slacks don't touch my shoes; they're like 3 inches off my shoes.
But you're also wearing like rubber boots.
Yeah, you big yellow ones that are way too big for my feet.
Come on down, we'll test you out. We'll see how you can do.
Eat those bushels ASAP.
Everything happens quick, dude. There's no slack in the industry.
The product's gonna spoil. You gotta move it.
You gotta get it done quick.
Yeah. So how long does it take? Like from when you harvest them, you put them in like a cold storage on the boat, like so they don't go bad? Like how does that work?
So your tow comes up, dump the pile out, sort through it, get all the scallops out,
throw the dolphins back into the bay where you got
dolphins all get released humanely.
Yeah.
We make sure we swim them so they swim off strong.
Yeah.
Take the scallops over to the cutting table, and when you cut them, you have a couple of different buckets there depending on what size the scallop is when you open it up, with a little bit of ice in it, and you cut them into that bucket, and then when you get done all your cutting, you'll take them and put them into an ice brine.
Wait, so you're saying when you cut them, is that like shuck
them?
Okay, so you're shucking them before you're putting them when they're being sold. So you're not just handing, the shell
so when we
and
come in
everything.
with 600 pounds, it's 600 pounds of just scallops.
Oh my God, dude!
Just the muscle.
I could eat at least 200 pounds of that 600 pounds by myself.
Yeah.
That sounds so delicious. Oh my God. How could you not just be, oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
When you got to cut 60,000 of them to hit your quota.
Oh,
how many of you,
And so that doesn't sound like, is that your boat that you're doing, or that's your buddy, like you get with a guy and help him out?
My buddy actually owns the boat and he's the captain.
Okay. And he pays you like whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work. Hopefully you're getting good money. And then you're doing plumbing on the side, a fellow plumber? Plumbing
in between. Yeah. So I was day tripping last year. So like we got a day trip is really like 30 hours.
Okay.
So, if I had a trip in the middle of the week and I lost a couple of days plumbing, I would just pick it up on the weekend.
And what do you mean pick it like your boss? You work for your dad, right? Or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dad's cool with that. He doesn't get it. You got to pick one or the other. The dock or the wrenches.
Yeah. So this summer I'm going to go full-time scalloping.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I'm going to work on a day boat and trip boat.
And you'll make more money doing that than slanging pipe?
Yeah.
Bro, I gotta get me some rubber boots and get down there, dude, because this plumbing thing's getting old, man. Bro, this customer, he's got dude, I gotta tell you.
How many years have you been doing it?
Plumbing?
Yeah.
15 years.
Have you?
35. I started as a helper, just carrying tools for this guy. I was like 15 or 16.
Yeah, see, I was drafted at 14 because it was a family company.
Yeah, been in business for almost 9. This past December was 9 years in business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gets old, man. Like I'm doing a job 2 days ago, and I tell him everything I'm going to do. The landlord owns the house. The house is, big, beautiful house. The guy's paying $6,000 a month in rent.
Yep.
He's got the landlord's private room of the house is in the basement where the water main is, with like a 7-tier lock on it. And I'm like, and the water line bursted in the garage. And I'm like, dude, I got to shut the water off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's my private thing. I'm like, just give me the code so I can turn the water. Oh, no, maybe you can come back tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, I can come back next week, but I got to charge you an additional fee. What are you talking about? What? Dude, I'm like, all my tools are out. Like, I'm standing here. I'm like, what do you mean?
You took a time slot. I showed up at your house.
Yeah, pay me.
Whether I do work or not, you're getting billed a service call.
Exactly. What do you guys?
Like, I'm sure you've run into people double booking and see who shows up first.
Oh yeah, that's always fun when you see friggin' gold medal conglomerate sitting in the driveway. Yeah. I'm like, whatever they're charging you, I'll definitely be cheaper and I'll still make money. Yeah. Those guys they're charging $675 to rebuild a toilet.
Oh my God! You see,
I would rather
get away with that shit,
and they get it.
That's Horizon's like that. Is Horizon up by
Horizon's the same thing. Gold medal, Horizon, they're all owned. This is what the average homeowner doesn't understand. is that people like us, like your dad and me and you, we're just, it's our own business. We're trying to do right by our customers, treat them well, make a living, feed our family. These plumbing companies, Gold Medal, they're owned by a giant multi-billion-dollar investment firm. Yep. And their business motto is literally pitch your tent in front of the customer's house and get them for whatever you can for as long as you can and make as much money off of them and then move on to the next customer because you're spending 80, literally they're spending 50 to 80 grand a month in advertising alone. Mm-hmm. So they don't care that they're going to rape that customer because they're just going to get they're going to get 10 more while they're on that job to go do it. And then they're going to send out the salesman. There's 40-gallon hot water heater, $4,700.
That's insane for a 40.
A 40 is $4,700.
Atmospheric, not even
atmospheric, nothing. Yeah. I'm like, how is this not illegal? I'm like, great, whatever. I'll charge 3.
If you or I did that, somebody would know about it.
I'd be standing in front of the board.
Be knocking on your door.
I'd be standing in front of the board.
This plumbing talk is riveting.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. The tradesman is talking. All right, we're talking.
So what's next for you, Tyler? You're a jack of all trades. What type of you plan on finishing out the falconry season and then start fishing again in the spring?
Yeah, so April 1st I'll be up in Massachusetts for the start of scalloping. We're going up to Stellwagen Bank. Be up there most of April, I believe. All right. It's a little bit different fishery up there.
Probably a good place to see great whites.
I would imagine. You'd be surprised how many, because when you're shucking the scallops, you're tossing the guts over. Every one you open up, you're tossing the guts over. When you make your toes, you're going down and back on the same line. If you're done, that could be 14 hours, 15 hours, could be 30 or 35 hours.
Oh my God.
So now you've been throwing guts in the water that whole time. That was what I started to say earlier. My first trip ever, when we stopped the boat never stops until you're done. And on the very last tow, you put the boat in reverse when you kick all the stuff back overboard so it doesn't go into the dredge, and then you have to pull it all back out again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When we stopped the boat, I looked over the side and, real deep in the water column, I just caught like a little glimmer of movement. And it made me look again, and a shark came up, and a second shark, and then a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh. And like in 2 minutes, there was like 30 or 40 of them.
What type?
Because we stopped feeding them, and they all came up to the surface, and we're kicking the pile back over. All kinds of stuff in the pile that they're eating. And when they all came up to the surface, I was like, yeah, I hope I never fall off of this boat ever, because you're chumming for hours.
What kind of sharks were they? Do you know?
That particular time, I think they were all duskies,
which are probably not dangerous.
They're all dangerous. I got news for you.
They can be aggressive. I don't think anybody's ever been torn up by one, but I know a lot of guys that will dive offshore and shoot tuna with spear guns, and duskies can be, I don't know if they're territorial, aggressive, or whatever the hell it is, but they can have an attitude sometimes. I definitely don't ever want to see a mako if I'm in the water. They're unpredictable. They're fucking crazy. They're fast as hell.
They're the fastest shark, right?
Yeah.
Which is the one? Yeah. Which is the one that learned? Oh, yeah, they kill people. What's the one that listens for plane crashes and ship sinking?
I'm not sure,
bro. That's this is what I'm talking about when I don't like sharks. This is the kind of stuff they do. They learn to when they hear a plane crash in the ocean, and when a boat is sinking, like during World War II. And they would travel for miles and miles and miles towards the sound to eat the people that are in the water.
It's a free meal.
The Titanic, dude. Most of those
it was too cold. That was
no. Most of those people are getting killed by sharks too.
There was icebergs in the water. If an iceberg sank it, that was too cold for sharks.
No, there's sharks in there, bro.
There's cold water sharks.
Yeah, man, they're in there sucking on people's legs.
Yeah, they're in there. They're in there somewhere, right, Casey?
No, they're in there. They're everywhere. Scary, man.
All right.
Tyler. So you're hold on. So you're pulling clams in April, and then you're gonna Tuna doesn't start till the scallop. Sorry,
and not enough money in clamming.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, that sounds like and then you don't do tuna until the fall. Tuna's in the fall, right?
It starts in June, but like October is, if you can get out there in October on a chunk bite, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush it.
Let's crush it in October. I'm inviting myself.
It's just so hard to get out there because of the weather.
Oh yeah, it's unpredictable. Yeah, we were gonna go with Tiger. Yeah. You know Tiger, right? He's in your neck of the woods down there. Yeah.
He's down near Barnegat.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a couple different times that we were gonna go with him, and every single time, dude, 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, actually.
The weather changes so
can't
quickly.
Go. It's not safe. Can't go. Call it off. I went back to bed.
In all the years that we've been out there offshore fishing, I think we've gotten out, like, because we don't have a huge boat. You know, it's only 30 foot, which sounds gigantic until you're 100 miles from land.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It changes really quick. I think we've only ever gotten out 3 times in October, but all 3 times we got out, it was epic.
Oh, sounds amazing.
Like I've jumped on trips with buddies who have, 45 footers where we can get out there in that weather. And same thing. Every time I've ever been out there was epic. Late September too. Late September is really good. So late September this year, we had a killer trip. I hooked like 9 or 10 tuna in an hour and a half by myself.
How many are allowed?
On a chunk, dude. And like you're hand feeding them. So like these fish come up behind this particular trip. You throw a handful of chunks in the water and they come up and eat them. And you're hand feeding these fish that can kick your ass. It's great, dude. I love it.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. A lot of people think it's just a different kind of upper body strength. Like, dude, you could be jacked. And I put you on your first tuna and 2 minutes in, you're ready to give up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let you. Not your first one. You're just going to have to deal with it. Suffer.
Bro, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
Aaron might give up. Aaron couldn't even stretch Aaron couldn't even stretch a domestic rabbit.
You keep talking like that, and you're like the first tuna that you hook into is going to be a 300-400 pounder, and you're going to have to be on the rod for hours.
Bro, I'll work for 5 hours, bro. I ain't scared.
We'll see if you can hold up. Everybody says that.
It's static tension, bro. I know all about it.
Yeah. I fought one for 2 hours one time. Never even saw the fish. After 2 hours, the shark ate it.
Of course, you see that?
I was pissed.
They're always out to get you.
They're always trying to they can't get you. They're going to get what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, bluefin fishing in November, December, incredible. Our regulations are crazy. But
yeah, it's like, aren't you allowed like one, and it has to be like the perfect size?
This year they closed it in August.
Right, yeah.
You couldn't shoot any of them, and they're everywhere. You can't get away from them. They're everywhere out there. And, it could be a 100-pound fish, could be an 800-pound fish. That's never know.
Crazy.
I think the biggest one we ever tied into was like we obviously didn't bring this thing in the boat, but it was a 110-inch fish. 110 to 115 inches was the estimate, like 650, 700 pounds.
Oh my God.
It was a big tuna. And it was a big tuna.
And then how would you get that in? You got to like hit it with that, like the spike.
Yeah, harpoon it.
You got to harpoon it, and then you got to get a crane or something to lift it up, or everybody on the boat just lifts it up?
You can use a block and tackle, and then a couple strong guys can lift it with a block and tackle.
Dude, that's like...
or you got to tow it in.
Oh, yeah. You do that? You'll tow it in?
If you have to.
And then how do you keep the sharks off of it?
You're moving. They won't bother you.
That's neat, man. That's like a whole different world. I'd like to go on a nice fishing trip like that. The only thing I've done is flounder fishing. That's like so like
gay.
Yeah, you're just there and you're like, oh,
that's what you do when you're a kid.
That's literally what I did when I was a kid. And then it was like they always have the pot where you put money in the pot, and whoever gets the biggest fish gets the pot.
Yeah.
Bro, tell me how this grown ass man by himself and me and 2 of my little friends, and I was with my friend's grandfather, were like 12 years old. Tell me how this guy wanted the captain to weigh the fish again because I won.
You'd be surprised.
He's like, can you weigh it again, please? I think mine was bigger. I'm like, you're a grown ass man, dude. Like, I'm a little kid. Just let me win the $50 that's in the bucket. You know what I mean?
It's like hunting with the New Jersey Deer Club, man.
They
don't care if you're 10 years old and you shot your first deer, they'll take it from you.
Yeah, they don't care. People are greedy. no respect anymore for the youth.
Nope.
Well, Tyler, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Thanks for getting my back in those comments because no one else is.
Yeah, especially not me.
Anytime.
Yeah, Aaron ain't gonna get in there.
I don't want that heat. You crazy?
Yeah, Aaron ain't trying to get in the fray. It's all right.
I'll be there for you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Good stuff, man. Thank you.